Hey guys, Chris from the Paggy Steel, all by myself today, but that's just fine. We're going to talk about Palkia, specifically the deck list that got me a top 4 at a local Win-A-Zard event of 35-ish players. I just think this version of Palkia, the No Yoshida list, is just so strong, so I'm going to run through the exact 60 I play and sort of talk about it versus sort of standard Palkia and why I think this version is quite a bit better. So start off with the Pokemon. We've got 3 Palkia V-Star and 4 Palkia V. 100% this is correct, because the games, the results of starting Palkia in your active than not starting Palkia is just ridiculous. There is outs to not starting Palkia, i.e. scoop up net and I guess an early game cross switcher, but that's not ideal. Starting the Sobble is not horrible. But the way I think you should play it in most matchups is Palkia V-Star, Greninja, Inteleon, Palkia V-Star, that's the way you're going to promote your Pokemon and that's the way you're going to funnel out attackers, which I think is amazing because it's not only 7 prize points to take, but that's Inteleon does so much damage. Obviously it depends on the matchup, you can go Greninja instead of Inteleon or you can chuck out more Inteleons, blah blah blah. But that's a sort of way you're going to go, I think, as it does, as I say, skew the prizes and just softens up a lot of Pokemon for Palkia to come in and smash. But as I say, starting a Palkia is just so much better than not starting a Palkia, so I think 4 is 100% spot on. And of course, more Palkias, bigger bench, more subspace swell output. 2 Inteleon shitty dealings and 1 quick shooting. I'm not playing the Zigzagoon because I don't think the early game aggression is worth not only the chance of starting Zigzagoon, which is not terrible, but again, just like the Sobble, not fantastic because you're not getting the prize trade that you're wanting. But this is just longevity, so I'm more of a late game player than early game, so I don't really like playing decks that are absurdly aggressive and have no real or limited amount of late game. Quick shooting just allows you to take prizes later on against stuff like Arceus. Is just really good because it puts everyone into range of your Palkia even without them having to overbench, and it's just all these sort of weird uses you didn't think would have, especially in the mirror as well. I think quick shooting is definitely the way to go. And we'll get to a card wise much better as well. 3 Drizzle, nothing really absurdly unique there, and 4 Sobble, same again, it's the second best starter in the deck, so of course it's the way you get going. And then 1 Greninja and 1 Manaphy. Manaphy is perfectly cuttable. It is a tech, or a tech for matchups. If you don't believe those matchups are relevant, it's cuttable, it's not an engine card. Manaphy, just the Urshifu deck kind of scares me because the way it can just take lots and lots of prizes, and Yoga Loop is kind of cool, so that's why I'm playing it. But as I say, it's the 57, 58, 59th card, it's perfectly cuttable if needs be. So that's a Pokemon lineup. I think that's pretty solid. Starmie, I wish I had, in all honesty, for the Arceus Duraludon. But what can you do? You can't fit Tex in for every matchup. Starmie's a really not good starter because of its low HP, so you're just giving away 2 free prizes. A free retreat is kind of cool, but I don't think it's honestly that worth it unless you're going to be facing a lot of Arceus Duraludon. Flying Pikachu, it's hit and miss against because if the Flying Pikachu's smacked you, you can't attack it, you have to cross switch around it. So there is outs, but yeah, that's why I'm not playing Starmie. For Erda, I think people are nuts for playing this at less. This is just like shady dealings into this. It's the reason why you play your whole deck. Like I got approaching time quite a lot this deck on Saturday just because I'm not that experienced with it. Just because you have access to your entire deck at all times. Erda is just ridiculous. I cannot see why you're playing less than 4. 2 Melanie, there's definitely a case for playing less than this. Play the Palpad, but you know, it was a best of 1 event, which I probably should have specified at the start of the video, so I just wanted to go for consistency and to eliminate the chances of bad prizing, which the 4 Palkia does help as well. So I just wanted to play 2 Melanie to guarantee that I definitely have Melanie outside of absurdly bad prizing. But Melanie's the accelerator, it's the way you can keep going without the need for the V-Star power, which the name escapes me, Star Portal, I believe. 1 Boss's Orders, because we do play Cross Switcher, which I'm very heaven-hand about because it's not a none of these supporters here, Erda and Melanie aside, or which at least all 2 of them, which are non-engine cards, so I really wish I could play less cross switcher, or just not play cross switcher at all, but the ability to Erda or Melanie or Roxanne and cross switcher on the same turn is just way too good. So one boss's orders just to get the one off of the Drizzle in the late game, and one Roxanne, that's what I was talking about just there, the non-engine cards, because if you do get stuck with these in your early hands, it can become really cluttery, and that's the only time I really losing out. The whole tournament I lost against RC Intellion because I didn't get a Sobble down until turn 4. But it just happens, you've got a lot of clutter in this deck that aren't engine cards, so you kind of just have to put on a brave face and deal with it. But Roxanne is the end of the format. You can't not play it, because when you're behind, or even when you're not behind, because it doesn't care about that, it half plus Roxanne is just a win condition in itself, so doesn't need to play it. On to the items, we're playing 4 Quick Ball, a 3 Evolutionary Incense, and 2 Level Ball. These are very highly changeable ratios. Oh, sorry, and the 1 VIP pass. I was going to talk about it by itself, but I thought I'll throw it in because these are the consistency sort of support or items. They are perfectly interchangeable. 4 VIP pass is really aggressive. It's obviously fantastic when you open it, especially if you're going second, because you've got more chances of seeing it because of the Erda. You don't have Erda going first, but the fear of getting Marnied after turn 1 after missing too many VIP passes and getting Marnied into them, or worse, Roxanne into them, just terrified me, so I really didn't want to go for that. I didn't think the early game aggression was worth the end game clutter, so that's why I played 1 VIP pass. 4 Quick Ball to make up for the lack of VIP pass. 3 Evolution Incense, I believe standard, but I guess the Level Ball and Evolution Incense ratios are perfectly interchangeable. Evolution Incense is Palkia, Drizzle, and Intellion, whereas Level Ball is the entire line except for Intellion. So it's you know, what do you want to see more? What do you want to see earlier? I guess that's the sort of ratio I ended up with. Seeing Heavy Ball, I guess you can count as a consistency card. I think people are nuts again for not playing this, because I don't believe that prizing Greninja is the end of the world, but it hurts, especially in the early game. But prizing too many Sobble, this protects you against that, because you can it's basically Erding for a free Quick Ball. If your Sobble is prized, so it actually turns a bad situation into a good one. I think Heavy Ball is just the bee's knees. It is such a good card. Then more consistent card, I guess, is Capacious Buckets. This is probably a more aggressive count than probably most people play, but Greninja plus this is just fantastic. Like sort of generating your advantage early to use a Star Portal at the right time, not just as soon as it comes online. But yeah, Capacious Bucket, because after all, you need energy to attack, but we have other ways of outing that, which I'll get to when we get later on. 2 Scoop Up Net, because it's your switch as well. If you start the Sobble, or if you're not sure on your next turn, you can promote a Sobble, Intellion, whatever. And then when you find out what you're actually going to do, you can Scoop Up Net up to Palkia. But of course, this recycles Greninja, this recycles Drizzle. When you bench the mana fee and the threat is gone, you can Scoop Up Net the mana fee out of the way to make more priority for Sobbles or Palkias or whatnot. Scoop Up Net's just a fantastic card. When I was talking about quick shooting earlier, and the one card that makes it so much better is the Rare Candy. There's lots of uses for this card, quick shooting being one of them. It just allows you to get it down quicker, so you can substitute it for a pseudo Zigzagoon, but this is mostly when you start Sobble, you can actually attack on your second turn with the Intellion, which is so massive. It takes so many people by surprise. As I say, this is no Yoshida's list except one change, which I'll run through at the end. But I subscribe 100% to the Rare Candy theory. I think it's just such a fantastic card. Definitely read the article he keeps talking about. It's definitely worth the massive price of 1,000 yen. It was a game changer for me. So yes, the 1 Rare Candy and the 4 Cross Switcher, again, non-engine cards. They can hurt getting cluttered first turn. But you know, everyone's played a defensive boss before, so there's nothing wrong with playing a defensive cross switcher either. So it's not completely dead. I wish it was the old, I think it was Custom Catcher, where you could pseudo these for a draw item as well, especially in a format or a time in Pokemon where supporters aren't allowed first turn, that would be mint, but we have what we have, so that's Cross Switcher. And rounding off the items is one Choice Belt. Sometimes I wish I have more, but again, I don't think it's insanely necessary because the Inteleon and Palkia hits good numbers without it anyway. And the I can't remember Inteleon's attack, but the one that does the Aqua ability thing, so it's also a pseudo Choice Belt as well. So it's not really that necessary. So I can't say I really missed it that much. On to the stadiums, one path, one training card. Path to the Peak, again, a non-engine card. I seem to get, the amount of times I opened Path to the Peak Roxanne was quite absurd, but it is what it is. But like I said, Path and Roxanne are just a win condition in itself, so it is needed. One training cord because you can run out of energy really quick after Star Portal, especially in the longer sort of grindy games, especially against more prize decks. Training cord is essential and give you more fuel for the Greninja. And lastly, the energy, the usual, and then not the usual, Capture Energy. Capture Energy is way better than VIP Pass, I think, overall over the course of the tournament, because the early game aggression of VIP Pass is, as you maybe see playing it, is so alluring, so fantastic. Getting a maximum bench on the first turn, so you can start drawing into the Drizzles and then just kick ass. Fantastic when it works, not so good when it doesn't. I say in the situation, especially when Azul sort of popularized 4 Marnie decks in Arceus, the chances of you getting matched or hit with those late VIP passes are massive, and the only real out you have are quick balls to discard them, and I don't really want to have to worry about quick balling my VIP passes, and yeah, just not good. But Capture Energy, attaching it to a Palkia is not sexy unless you're planning the attack with the Palkia V, not the Palkia V Star. But attaching it to like a Greninja or a Sobble or an Inteleon, now that is really good, because and of course late game it is a Greninja way to draw cards. So I think Capture Energy is just fantastic, just way better than VIP Pass. So that is the list. Sort of talk about it in general. Whiffing Sobbles hurts. Again, that's how I lost my match against Arceus Duraludon. But it happens. Any deck that plays a lot of non-engine cards is going to suffer those consequences, especially an evolving deck like us. It's just one of those things. But Capture Energy, Rare Candy, I believe they're just absolute auto inclusions regardless if you're playing this variant. Other cards you can play is Ultra Ball and Crobat, which I am insanely tempted to try because it opens up your chance. It is a supporter. Yes, the 2 free prizes late game are what they are, but you know, Horn plus Boss is still a thing anyway. I don't think that really skews it too much. Could be wrong. But yeah, I'm definitely looking at Ultra Ball and Crobat. Definitely not looking for a VIP Pass. Definitely not looking to drop Sobble down to 3. So yeah, that's the deck. Hopefully I explained it well enough. Going forward, I think if more people give this deck a try rather than just the 4 VIP Pass build, I think they'll be pleasantly surprised. Capture Energy is an auto include. I can't stress that enough. So good. So guys, let me know what you think. Please comment, rate, subscribe, check out the rest of our videos. We do lots of pack openings. If it's your first time, welcome to the channel. Hopefully you stay. But this is Chris from the Package Deal. Peace out.